Well, it's kind of actually a serendipitous time for me to talk to you about this stuff because my brand has evolved over the years, but originally it started off me being just a bodybuilding coach and fitness coach, but now it's sort of transmuted into something much bigger, in my opinion, and much more closer to my heart. And now I've really gone through a big metamorphosis in my business lately, and I'm moving away from coaching just pure fitness and pure bodybuilding to more of a holistic approach of like mind and body spirit to be able to help people heal from trauma.
So just talk us through your use of technology in this field.
Well, most of my technology, I've always been a strong technology user from the time that I started, but most of it has been these days, most of it, I use a bit of AI, but I don't do it. I use it mostly for research purposes. So like it's so much easier than just using like say where we used to just have to Google things or look it up. And I love books.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Second Brain, AI-powered business thinking. I'm your host, Vimal Patel from RoundTechSquare. Today we have a guest in house, Tad Inoue, that's his first name, and then very wonderful to have him. I was just asking him, he has a 38 year of experience, and he's going to talk us through a lot about what he's doing. Thank you very much, Tad, for getting on the call.
Thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
beautiful. Okay, sir. The first thing first I will ask you is talk us through about the TED, the diet coach, the brand and the journey, and then we'll deep dive towards the technology and AI.
Well, it's kind of actually a serendipitous time for me to talk to you about this stuff because my brand has evolved over the years, but originally it started off me being just a bodybuilding coach and fitness coach. But now it's sort of transmuted into something much bigger, in my opinion, and much more closer to my heart. I got involved in bodybuilding really early when I was young, like in like 15, 16 years old, about 15 years old, all for the sake of competing, all for the sake of trying to build myself up. I was a very small Japanese kid, as you can tell by my name, Tadayoshi. I'm, Japanese and Hawaiian, amongst other things. So I'm sort of a motley mix of things. But when I was young, I was very short and very small, and so bodybuilding really interested me. So that's what kind of got me interested in it. And so I really took it seriously. And for most of my adult life, I've pursued it, competed, got my pro card. I judge shows. I'm a professional judge, IFBB pro judge as well. I'm not as active these days anymore as I used to be. But over the last 38 years of doing it, it's been quite a journey. I went from competitor to coach to official, and so I've gotten an opportunity to see the sport and see fitness in many different aspects. And my business has evolved because of it. So like I started out as an athlete, helping other athletes because I had some success. Usually, most of my success was in the dieting, and because I was running a vitamin store, I had a gym at one time. I did lots of stuff like that. So that kind of got me into working with people, and I realized I really liked working with people directly. So that's when I narrowed my focus down after several years to just doing coaching, just coaching people. Really, before anybody was coaching, like today, it's such a big business. Coaching is. But when I first started, people told me that I was crazy. They said it was not something that I would ever be able to make a living at. But I didn't really care. I wanted to just do something that I love to do. So
Understood.
I started, and it just kind of blew up on me. I just really got,
Wow.
and so yeah, that was really wonderful.
Wow.
But
Okay.
now
Well,
there's,
what
what was that?
I'm sorry. I mean, I was just saying, like, what a quiet journey, like where the dream started as being a professional, like, bodybuilder, and then do something for your own self and for your own, like, happiness and then your vision. And it turns out to be 38 years, and then now still helping with the brand, like coaching in terms of diets and everything, and then still getting people going. And then, it's just quite awesome.
Yeah, it's I never thought that I would actually meet like most of my heroes, like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler and all these people that I admired so much as I was growing up in the industry. But I actually got a chance to meet almost all of them and become friends with them. And so like it was really wonderful to be able to do that. But it did, and I've had several podcasts and several radio shows over the years to sort of highlight some of those friendships and sort of bring some of them into a more personal space. But I found that I was always trying to bring people down to this more contemplative, more spiritual base because that's what I am. Like I I went to Oregon State University, studied philosophy, but then I went into graduate school as went into seminary studying theology and ethics. And so I kind of have that's sort of been the core of who I am. So I always kind of felt like an oddball in the sport of bodybuilding and fitness because it's so focused on the body. And while yes, I did focus on the body quite a bit, my mind and my heart was really more focused inward. And so
Understood.
I certainly felt out of place a little bit. So I took a deeper approach.
Okay.
I've always taken that academic approach. I've always taken a very deep approach to my bodybuilding, but also to my fitness. And now I've really gone through a big metamorphosis in my business lately, and I'm moving away from coaching from just pure fitness and pure bodybuilding to more of a holistic approach
Done.
of like mind and body spirit to be able to
Wow.
help people heal from trauma, be able to, because this is kind of the things that I really would gravitate towards in my own life. And I started actually another YouTube channel. It's called The Theology of Love. It really encompasses my perspective on how we can transmute some of the pain in our lives through and all of it's tied to the body we have because we live in bodies, so we have to have a certain physical aspect of our lives, we have to have a certain emotional aspect of our life and a certain spiritual aspect of our life, so we have to have all three of these things going on. And
Take care
so
now. Yes.
yeah, it's and I so I sort of take all those things into consideration,
Wow.
and over the years, literally working with thousands of people, it's like my brain automatically looks for some of the verbiage, some of the things that people automatically unconsciously say, and I'll point those things out because we give away so much of what bothers us and what is our triggers, our traumas. We give away so much of why we don't succeed, why we can't get over some of the deficits in our lives. We telegraph it almost.
The truth.
I'm not like
Yeah.
perfect at it, but I'm very good at it.
Okay.
And I know
Okay.
that I know I'm quite empathic when it comes to like working with my clients. And so I've always had a very high retention rate. And I
Wow.
think
Okay.
it's because of the kind of connection that I'm able to
Connected
develop with people.
expertise. Okay, no, no,
So
nicely said that. I mean, the journey what you are mentioning, and then now, the people are so occupied and then so stuck into so many things. And when all about technology, it's all about AI, and then the nuclear family system, as well as people are not talking to other people. So then they have all those kind of situation where somebody like you comes in and then kind of look into that and then help the people out. It's really awesome, and then doing it for such long a time, it's another milestone. I mean, the question what I will have for you to start with, obviously you are doing all these terrific things. Now the question is, how are you using technology to achieve your goals, or how are you using technology tools or software to kind of do these things on a scalable way, on like more systematic, or maybe more like faster and quicker for your audience, for your clients. So just talk us through your use of technology in this field.
well, most of my technology, I've been always been a strong technology user from the time that I started. But most of it has been these days, most of it, I use a bit of AI, but I don't do it. I use it mostly for research purposes. So like it's so much easier than just using like say where we used to just have to Google things or look it up. And I love books. I love like
Oh,
words and books. So but that's a slow way to get your information now. It's
correct.
just you can fall behind. So I use AI to help me to find the information that I need and the academic sources that I need, so that way I can verify the things that I'm doing. Especially with a lot of the writing that I do. I do a tremendous amount of writing for my YouTube channel, and I talk about the philosophies, I talk about the theologies that I have, and how to concretely use the kind of methodologies that I've come up with in my life to work through some of these problems. And I use AI to be able to help me to find the research that I need to verify some of the things that I've come up with. But a lot of it does come from just my own experience and my own knowledge. But I do like to keep up with all the latest research. I'm really big into brain research. I'm really big into like epigenetics. I'm really big into these kinds of things because I know we influence so much of our biology by what we think. So a lot of times when people come to me and they get stuck with their dieting, they get stuck in their transformation process. A lot of it has to do with not just what they're doing physically, not just what they're eating, but also where their mind is at. what kind of roadblocks are really going on up in their head. And
Okay,
it
nice.
because emotions and stress and all of these things get stuck in our bodies if we don't
True,
release them. If we don't, in order to, like, I always say this, in order to heal you have to feel. You can't heal
true.
from trauma if you don't feel it. And
That's
most of
right.
us try to ignore all the bad feelings, and that is not a way to heal your body. You can't get through your life that way without finding that you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks along the way.
That's right. That's right. Also, very, very nicely said. So the very first use for your brand and for yourself of a technology is about development and research a lot,
A lot of
because
it.
you know the type of courses what you might be coming up with, or type of industry knowledge and statistics and reports and analytics what you might want to look into in terms of relate all those things on the real scenarios and then work on the real people. So I think AI and tech is helping you a lot in terms of reporting, analytics, researching. I mean, you very nicely said, saying that reading one book, the time consumed to read one book and get the information out of that book, now that scenario is changed such a nicely, where still reading is important. I'm not going to take away from anything with the
No,
reading side. I
no.
mean, I'm also reader, nice reader. I read books every day, but at the same time, to scale that, to do it faster, do the research quicker, and then get more data point or more information, I think AI is helping a lot.
Well, yeah, especially if I want to keep up with the latest research in the
True.
peer-reviewed research. It's difficult, especially if you're not in academia, to be able to find
Correct.
all these, to know who's doing what research and to know that's the hard part because
Agree.
by the time this information makes it to a book, that research
It
has
takes
been
a lot of
done
time.
for like 5 or 6 years.
Right.
Like
So
it's
yes,
old
true.
research.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I want to know it a little bit quicker than that. So that
That's
way I
right.
can
Yeah.
apply it,
Yeah.
but I
No,
keep a
agree.
lot of
Agree.
data. I keep a
Agree.
lot of data in my own business. I've kept all the data on my clients over the years. I don't share it with anybody, but I keep it so that I can go back and look at what was working, what has worked,
What is
what
rough
didn't
part?
work. And so it's a lot of data to sift through, and to do it manually would be almost impossible. So I use AI to help me do that.
Nice, nice. I mean, I always talk to myself as a kid to come out there and then reading the books in a colleges and schools and things like that. Now I put most of my time into reading ebooks, and then sometimes like you said, like certain information if I wanted to quickly consume from the digital platform, then I just summarize the whole thing, or I might read like 5 pager summary or 5 pager research done, which can have like 200 300 page of book to get that information quickly, and then get to my routine back, and then most efficient. I mean, I think tech is doing terrific for the people like you and me who wanted to get the information faster, quicker, but at the same time work on that faster. The next question would be this industry of dieting, right? I mean, the wellness and fitness industries are so huge. It's a $1 billion industry, but at the same time, there are a lot of space or a lot of scope for technology to do more, right? I mean, especially you being a diet coach and coming the journey of exercise, bodybuilding, and all that stuff. So that's very niche industry in a way, right? So my question to you is that in that particular environment, in that particular space, what do you think that technology can bring more? Like, what are the opportunities what we have as a technology creator that we can do more to help this whole industry, specifically to this diet thing? I mean, the diet coaching and then diet knowledge and all those apps and then wearable devices, and then they do a lot of things. But at the same time, you being a leader, having a almost 40 year of experience, what those scenarios you can tell us, saying that okay, hey, in this diet industry, these are the points still need to be worked on, or tech can do something about it.
I mean, that's a good question. I'm not. I think there's been so much done over the years with trying to articulate good practices, best practices for dieting and such. But there's the weak spot is something that I don't think technology can really handle, which is that it's a personal connection to be able to understand, because
Oh,
AI can identify like maybe what you might be eating incorrectly or how you might be training inefficiently, but it can't really encourage you, not in a real sense. It
emotions.
can't Yeah,
Yes.
it can't really connect with the person in a way that says, "Hey, look, I was in your spot. I did this, and you could do this." Like you can and support them in those ways. But that doesn't mean that AI is ineffective, and it doesn't mean that it can't be used. well. But that is the weak spot. And I think that you can there. I know that, what it would be nice to see is something that helps people find real effective resources. So have
Correct.
AI help them to find those resources more effectively instead of just saying, here's what's out there, but
Yes.
somehow help them evaluate those individuals or those coaches, those people those resources that they're trying to use, and what kind of, because we always want these sort of we want to look at metrics and say, okay, here's the successes, here's the things that didn't go quite so right. That would be great to have it, find those, if
Incapable.
that makes sense. Yeah, to help
Okay,
find those
yeah.
kinds of resources to so they can match up those resources with the people that really need them
Oh, very nice.
versus
I mean,
just
so
I know people just want people to, they want AI to just tell them what to do, but
yeah, yes, yeah. No, but I think you summarized it very well, Ted, where you said that what I learned right now is that okay, hey, I mean, technology is doing a lot of thing into this diet industry. I mean, making those apps, making those tools, making those lot of kind of connectors, which helps the human being to kind of get the knowledge and information. But at the same time, your point related to a human touch, where still there is a lot of boundaries that the human has to understand, get the right thing, what suits them, make the right choices, that only human brain can do it. It's a technology will not going to do it for you, saying that okay, hey, technology can tell you that you gotta eat 40 gram of protein, but technology is not going to come to your mouth and then chew that protein, or go and buy the protein and then do that. So that thing is still there as a human, as a mankind. So we as a tech creator, we have to be very sensible or very understandable about that fact that end of the day, human has to take the action. So when we create the technology in that era, that we have to make sure that how smartly we can do something which makes the human not only think, but at the same time, like kind of like make themselves aware, create those emotions and all the stuff.
yeah, and as human beings, we're also very social creatures. So
It's true.
you can get all the right information, but if we're not connected socially, we tend to
Ah,
not thrive
yes.
as well. So we have
Wow.
to
Yes.
we thrive in these social environments. I mean, we're tribal by nature. Like we
That's right.
evolved in small groups to be able, and isolate somebody. One of the worst forms of punishment in the penal
That's
system
right.
is to isolate somebody. It's like,
That's true.
it's not torture, it's just isolate them.
Isolate.
Hit them,
Yes.
and when you
Eh,
isolate them, all of a sudden they can't thrive. They
Yeah.
literally go after, I think there's only so many days they even allow people to be
True.
isolated because it makes them go
True.
crazy. So like
True. True. Yes.
we need that connection, and I say that yes, you can get the information that you need from technology, and that's wonderful, but we also need another component that technology can't give us. It can't give us that connection that we really need, that
Okay.
human connection that we need, that fosters all the biochemicals that make us feel connected to one another and make us feel fulfilled and loved and all these wonderful
Yeah.
feelings that we need.
Yeah. No, nicely. I mean, the social connectivity, isolation. I mean, the isolation concept is, that is the concept of about putting people behind the bars and then jail and then isolate themselves to kind of, put their brain and mind and emotions in the check in control and then, make them a better person. So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. So see, this kind of information, Ted, what you are telling us and then, teaching us, that opens up a lot of brain when we create the tech into that market and saying, okay, hey, these are the points to kind of look into that, which is not scripted on a book for us to do it because, book is telling us to kind of create the tech. Okay, go create the technology, go create the tool, go create a software. But at the same time, talking to the leader and then understand the another aspect, another angle of the whole scenario, that's important. So that you taught us very well. You put
Well,
it to put it very well.
and you said it perfectly, that these are just tools that we use.
Correct.
I mean, that's what we are. We're tool makers. Like humans, we're
Yes,
tool
that's true.
makers.
That's right.
And so we make these really great tools, but the tool doesn't do. It's like your
By
eyeglasses.
itself.
Your
Yes,
eyeglasses don't see for you. They allow
that's
you
right.
to
Level
perceive
to see
something more
closer.
accurately, but they don't do the seeing for you.
Yes,
And so
yes.
I think a lot of people want technology to do the seeing for them, but they forget that it's just a
It's just
tool
a
that we
tool.
use
It's
to
just a
help us
tool.
see more
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, you just imagine looking at the Home Depot, in center of the Home Depot, and look around everything, and there are tools, there are materials, there is everything. But at the same time, you need an expertise, you need a person, you need an expert person who designs everything and build the house out of it. Like, the
Right.
tool is not gonna come and walk in and build the house. So yeah, like the way you were saying that is absolutely makes sense. And then it just kind of, open up a lot of eyes. But very beautiful, Ted. It was wonderful to talk to you, and then I got a lot of information. It is very useful. It is very important for coming from someone who is like 38 years, 40 years almost from the business. If somebody wants to reach to you, somebody wants to reach out to you, I know that you have a very crazy podcast channel going on Podbean. You have a YouTube channel and stuff like that. So can you just tell us more about where can we find you at, or where can we kind of listen to you?
Sure. They can go to my website. It's tadthedietcoach.com, or they can go to my YouTube channel at, I have a Tad the Diet Coach, but I'm really kind of pushing my Theology of Love. So it's at Theology of Love on YouTube, as well as on
Okay,
Instagram. Instagram is easy because it's just at Tad the Diet Coach. It's like,
that's right.
it's so yeah, they can, if they just search for Tad the Diet Coach, they're going to find me because I'm the only one.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
pretty
that's
easy to
all
figure out.
about to say that the name, the Ted, the diet code is very unique name. Is going to be only one person in the globe. So yeah, so
Years ago, yeah, I mean, years
yeah.
ago, I had a client who was a marketing manager for Entertainment Tonight. It was a TV show that used to interview like movie
Uh,
stars and stuff. And I asked her, I was like, I always have to go through like 10 minutes of telling people what I do because coaching wasn't so popular then. This is the 90s.
True.
And she said, well, I said, well, can you help me come up with a moniker? And she's like, well, what do you do? Well, I said, well, I coach people on diet and fitness. And she's like, well, how about Tad the Diet Coach? That's the way it
Oh,
came about.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, but it's very, very
So,
unique. It's very, very, very trendy. But yeah, but thank you very much. Like I said, Ted, it was wonderful to talk to you about. That being said, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I'll put all this information together with the links, what you just mentioned, and then have the audience to kind of deep dive and then learn more about it. So thank you very much.
thank you so much. I appreciate it, Patel.
Yeah, thank you.